Alrighty. Good day, good night, good evening, whatever day or time you sign on. Hello. I'm Matt Miranda, 4-H agent in Guadalupe County. Today I want to talk just a little bit about our um, 4-H club charters and information that you need to fill it out for this year. First of all, the deadline for charters this year is going to be Monday, June 24th, and that is at 5 o'clock. That will give me about a week to get everything uploaded because I believe that the final deadline to have everything uploaded into 4-H Online is June the 30th. So all the forms that we'll cover today will need to be filled out and submitted here to the extension office by the 24th of June. I am in the process of filling out this email right now. It will have all the information in here, and we're going to go over it on the website here in a second. But again, the deadline is June the 24th, and this will have everything that you need to fill out, as well as some other information that I would like to have from you, like who the club officers are, who the club managers will be, all those kinds of things. The training, our big club manager training for the year, is going to be Sunday, July 28th at the extension office. It'll be in the afternoon. We did that last year. We had ambassador training, club manager training, our club officer training, and then we had our wave pool party, and that's what we'll be doing again this year. At least one club manager from each club is required to attend that training. So if you're not able to make it, please send somebody in your place. We would like at least one club manager, or we're requiring one club manager from each club to come to that training. If you need to sign on that day and attend the training, we will have that option available as well. I'll have the link to the training here where it says the link for today's training. The recording that we're doing right now will be on this email as well. There will be several things that you need to have for your scholar or for your charter for the 4-H club. The first being the charter agreement, and we'll look at that in depth here in a second. There is a copy of your sample bylaws. I have all 4-H club bylaws, so unless you have changed something in your bylaws this year, you don't need to turn the copy in. I have that, and I can get it re-uploaded for the charter process. If your bylaws have changed this year, please send me a copy of the most up-to-date bylaws so I can upload it with your paperwork. The financial review, again, we'll be doing this year, and you have to turn in, like it says here, the most recent copy of your bank statement. So whatever the amount of money is on your charter review should be match the amount of money that is on your most recent bank statement. It is up to y'all to find somebody, 2 reviewers, to review the bank account and make sure that everything is in order. And we'll talk about what is required for those forms here in a second. There is the charter application worksheet that is on here. That is more just information, kind of a cover sheet for the whole application. I'd ask that you fill it out. That way I have your EIN number as you know it, and any other information that you have to include on there. If we have some 4-H clubs that are going to disband, I know the Guadalupe Rider 4-H club is more than likely going to disband, and that's okay. It happens from time to time. There's a disbandment form that you'll have to fill out that we'll look at here in a second. So let's go onto the website. If you type in Texas 4-H club management, this is the 4-H club management page. And the first thing at the top, all of these at the top of the page, is the information for chartering. The first link on here has chartering instructions. That is basically what I'm going over with you today. But the first thing on here is the charter agreement. And you'll see that the agreement, this is the name of the 4-H club right here at the top, in Guadalupe County, Texas, and then your EIN number, and then your address. The address should match whatever the address is on your bank statement. A few years ago, we had asked everybody to put the address of the extension office, and we would like to continue doing that. But if your bank statements don't come here to the extension office and instead go to your house, or a PO box or something like that, whatever it is, the mailing address needs to be the same on the charter agreement. For this section of the charter agreement, the club manager agrees to do all of the things as laid out by the charter agreement. Nothing has changed. It's the same that it was last year, but we want to make sure that everybody fills that out. And you will put your initials, not a check mark, but your initials in each box that are on here. On the second page, this is kind of to help with our bylaws, some information that had to be put in the bylaws a few years ago. All of our clubs have that now, but this supersedes any other things that you have in your bylaws, talking about fiscal accountability, what to do if the club disbands, and then how to make any amendments to your club bylaws. The signatures will have to be a signature of the club manager. So that is whoever the club manager of the club is needs to sign this top line here. The second one needs to be a signature of the financial authority. So whoever is one of the signers on the account. It cannot be, like it says here in red letters, it cannot be the same person as the club manager. Now, I realize that most clubs have the club manager as a signer on the account, but you have to have two signers on the account. So the first signer will be the club manager, and this signer on signature line 2 will be the other signer on the account. And then down here at the bottom is where I need to sign everything, and I won't sign off on anything until we have everything completed here at the office. The next form I want to look at is the financial review. Please use this one. Don't use an old one. The form changed a little bit. And it has up here review of year 2023, 2024. I know in the past I've seen different club managers will change the date up here to make it for the current year. Please don't do that because this form periodically changes and we want to make sure that everything is correct. So first off, you'll put what type of bank account you have. It's checking, savings, or other. You'll put the bank name here, so it might be Wells Fargo. And then you'll put the names of the signers of the account. So it will have to be whoever your actual signers on the account are. This will have to match one of those signatures that you have on the charter agreement. Also, remember, you are required to have two signers on the bank account for a 4-H club. So one signer will not cut it. If you only have one, you'll need to add a second signer to the account before you turn this in. Over here, it'll have the balance on at the time of the review. That is what you're going to fill out over here. And again, that will match whatever you have on your most recent bank statement. If some clubs we have savings accounts or things like that, please put all of the accounts on this one sheet of paper along with who the signers on those accounts are and the balance at the time of the review. As it states right here, the signers on the account on the above must be from two different families and currently enrolled 4-H adult volunteers. So we can't have anybody that's not a screened and cleared 4-H volunteer as a signer on our account. It also can't be, a husband and a wife can't be a signer on the account. They can be, but you have to have two different signers on the account as well. Two different signers from two different families. This box is their debit card associated with the club or group? So you will have to check that box, yes or no. And then if you use PayPal or anything like that, please put that information over here as well. This section right here, we get lots of questions of the date, all these kinds of things. This is for your reviewers. So let's say you had a check that was written that didn't have a receipt. And that happens sometimes, especially if, we're club managers that, they bought something for an event and they lost the receipt. So they just have, it's check number, who it was to, and what the expense was for. And it's just basically a thing. What's the reasoning for that kind of thing? But it's not to put every review on there. It is just if there's something that stands out that is not under the norm, then that's where we fill that out. And then on here, if there's any comments for improvements or suggestions for improvement for the club records, the reviewers can put that on here. The reviewers will have to put whether or not the club is in order, it's not in order, or if it's in order but in need of better organization or record keeping. And sometimes, that is okay to put. We don't want them to be not in order. Most of our clubs, or if not all of our clubs, have good record keeping in place. But sometimes we get a little out of whack, and that might get put on here. That's fine. We will get y'all back into shape. The two reviewers will need to be on here. They can be other adult leaders, but typically not adult leaders that are associated with that club. Occupation, title, signature, and the date of their review. Again, reviewers cannot be associated with this club or the extension office. So club manager, you can't review it. I can't review it as an extension agent. The support staff here at the office cannot review it. It'll need to be somebody that you find. Once everything's filled out, then I will click this box that says I certify all bank accounts listed above are currently enrolled 4-H volunteers, and then I will sign everything. The second page of this form is your asset list. So if you have a list of assets for the club, property that you've bought, trailers, firearms, ammo, if you have scales, any of those kind of things that belong to the club, they need to be listed on here, because if the club was to go under and disband, then I would need a list of everything that is to be collected by the extension office. That way we know what to get. Okay, so that is the financial review form. This is the most complicated form of the charter process. It's really not that bad. When you are sending your information to be reviewed, get two people that you know. I mean, it could be somebody like a neighbor, it could be a CPA, whoever you know that is willing to review your bank information. Get them to do that, and then have them sign it, print, and then use their signature as well. Back on the 4-H website, there are a couple of other things on here. So if you need a template for the bylaws, those are on here. It also talks about the bylaw requirements. Most of our 4-H clubs have the different basic bylaws that have been edited later. You can edit your bylaws whenever you would like, but there needs to be one meeting to introduce the proposed changes, and then a second meeting to vote on those changes. And it does require a 2/3 vote in order to change your bylaws. So just because something has been done a certain way for a long time does not mean it has to stay that way. You are more than willing, or more than able, to change them if it is the will of the club. So with that said, everything that must be done in the club must be done according to the bylaws. So you have to do elections and things like that according to the bylaws as well. There is information on here. Let's see. This is the charter application worksheet. It's in the email as well. But again, this is just basic information for the club. This will not be uploaded. I also ask that none of you upload your own charters. Please send them to me, since I have to sign everything first anyways, and then I will upload all of the charters on 4-H Online. If the club is disbanding and you are the last club manager that we have on file, then I will be asking you to fill out one of these dissolution or disbandment forms. And then we'll have to get all the bank account stuff turned over as well. This just makes it easier to give us a paper trail when we disband the club. Let's see, memorandum of understanding. If we are going to, our youth show board and our fair board, this is something I'll be working with them to fill out. That way we have a memorandum of understanding that if they're using the 4-H club Clover, then they're using it in the best possible way. And so we have memorandums of understanding with a lot of different organizations. And this is a newer version of the form that we'll be filling out to send to everybody this year as well. There is some other information on here if you're interested. If you want your 4-H club to become state tax exempt, there is the information on how to do that in the state of Texas. So you can get that filled out. There's a IRS YouTube filling out instructions. All of your club taxes are done by me. So that's all done in December. No need to worry about any of that. But then there will be any other information with the charter will be on here. There's status guides and all that kind of stuff. With that said, the reason why we want everything to be turned in by the 24th is because it is due to be approved by June the 30th on 4-H Online. I have to approve it by June the 30th. You can charter after that time, but your club will not show up when registration opens in the fall. However, we will be asking everybody to not register for the new 4-H year until after September 1st, as we have the last 5 or 10 years, just because sometimes when Clover kids will, if it's a first year 4-H'er and they're third grade and 8 years old, before September 1st, the system still sees them as a Clover kid. So we have to wait until after September 1st to get everybody enrolled. Again, we need all the charters due by the 24th of June. That way we can get the information taken care of. The other things that I would like to see from when you turn in your charter paperwork, and I'll put it here on this email, is I would like a list of what the club officers that have been elected for the new year. And I've gotten this question a lot. Why don't we post our club officers and phone numbers and all that kind of good stuff in the yearbook like we used to? And the simple reason is privacy. It is a different world than it was even 10 years ago when we used to put all of that information in there. Same thing with club managers. We still have club managers on the contact list. We have the list of the clubs that we put out every year. It's kind of like our club directory, but we do not put any youth information or full names on those, like what clubs they belong to and things like that. We do list the county ambassadors and the county council, but there's not anything that ties it back to a particular club or location where they are. So I'm sure you can understand safety is paramount when it comes to protecting these youths. So that's not going to change. We will not put that back in the yearbook, but I would like a list of club officers, especially the council delegates, because we have lots of 4-H clubs that never send a council delegate to the county council meetings, and that's how we get our business done for the county council. And so I do want to have that list of council delegates, especially that way we can send out information for our county council meetings in the fall. When it comes to county council meetings and council delegates, each club is allowed 3 voting members to the county council. And so that means that, if you have a large club, a lot of times it is 3 council delegates that are elected. Or smaller clubs, you might have the president, the vice president, and a council delegate, or you might have president, vice president, second vice president that are your council delegates. If you don't have council delegates, then whoever is the top 3 officers in the club will be assigned to be the council delegates. So they'll be expected to be at county council meetings. And those county council meetings are typically on Wednesday evenings. And we try to keep them on the 3rd or 4th Wednesday of the month, but sometimes that changes because of different events that are going on county-wide. So just keep that in mind. We'll try to stay as close to posted dates as we can. But please send me your officers. Please send me the list of any club leadership you might have. So club managers and assistant club managers. Every club should have a club manager and an assistant club manager. It should not be the job of just one person to run a club. It is a lot of stuff that goes into it. So we'll be expecting each club to have a club manager and an assistant club manager as well. Again, that is not necessarily a rule, but it's a best practice, and it's to help y'all as the club managers have some help to get all this stuff done. A lot of times when we disband clubs, it is because people are afraid to volunteer to be the club manager because they don't want it to be a lifetime appointment, and they don't know that they have the time to do all the things. And that is why we're going to really push for a club manager and an assistant club manager. That way, it doesn't just have to be one person all the time. It can be multiple people taking on that responsibility. And some clubs have that and do really well, and other clubs struggle with that, and that's okay. That's what we're here for, is to help you work through those kinds of things. So, if you have any questions on the process of chartering, please let me know. We are here at the extension office to help you out. If you need signatures, once you get everything done, please bring it in. If you upload stuff and send it to me by PDF, I'll still be able to sign it. So it's just important that we get everything done on time. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. We're here to help. Thank y'all and have a good day.